What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at this brand new 2024 Mazda CX-90. This one is fully loaded. This is a Turbo S Premium Plus finished in artesian red. MSRP is about $58,000. So let's pop the hood, see what is powering this. You can already see that inline 6 logo. So that gives you a good hint as to the engine. One thing cool, you can actually take the engine cover, you can unlock it and actually view the engine. So you can see the turbo on the one side. Of course, this is an inline 6-cylinder turbo engine, but this is a 3.3 liter inline 6, 340 horsepower with 369 pound-feet of torque. It does feature a mild hybrid system, 8-speed automatic, and a rear-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system. Curb weight is around 4,900 pounds. This SUV runs on a 19.6 gallon fuel tank, and you're looking at 23 miles per gallon in the city with 28 out on the highway, and towing is about 5,000 pounds. Moving to the exterior styling, it's a pretty bold looking family SUV. I like the front end appearance, it's pretty sweet. Headlights are actually pretty small for the size of the car, which actually looks cool. You have an LED strip right in here, nice chrome trim surrounding the grille, all of your parking sensors, safety sensors, forward camera, and then gloss black trim for the actual grille. You have a nice trim piece along with an air intake duct, and then you can see some chrome trim and plastic down below. So it's got a cool look to it, some sharp lines on the hood that fade into the upper portion of the bumper. And then at the side, I like how you get the body color fender flares. They have a nice look to them. Set of 21-inch wheels with a multi-spoke design in two-tone color. The badge on the front fender, more chrome trim on the side. It even says Mazda on the back. Very clean lines throughout the side profile. Body color door handles and mirror caps. LED turn signal and camera are on the mirror. And you can see the chrome trim along with all the black. Nice roof rails up above with a panoramic roof panel. And then for the side profile, it's a pretty good looking vehicle. Being a 3-row, it's got some size. However, the proportions are really nice. I think it's got a classy and luxurious shape to it. Slopes backwards a little bit just to give you that type of design. And then you can see just how smooth all the body panels are. Got a nice integrated spoiler up on top with a third brake light, and then a nice set of LED taillights. Pretty aggressive looking with the red and dark housing. All of your parking sensors are back here. Chrome trim, just a little bit of plastic. Nice badging as well, good shape to it overall. Really can't complain, it's a pretty good looking family SUV. Now underneath the Mazda logo, pressing the button, you can pop open the power liftgate. So right now you can see the seats folded down on one side, so you can definitely see all the room you're gonna get. Given there's no carpeting on the backs of those seats, that could get damaged if you're gonna use this for utility. But you do have a little bit of space here, spare tire underneath. You have a dome light, a little bit of storage, and then some plugs. For the third row, you can easily pull this up, do the headrests. Pretty easy to do, not really a far reach. And then if we just go ahead and close this, you can also see the space you get behind that third row. Now moving into the second row seating, as you can see, they do fold down nice and flat. Pulling the recline lever, we can get that back up. We can also slide these seats forwards, which is a nice touch. However, when they are back in their normal position, you can just grab the top handle. It'll do that, as well as let you slide it forwards. So if I climb into the third row, I'm 5'11". This is a pretty decent third row seat. It's certainly not the biggest in the world. So sitting back here, I mean, my feet are a little bit under the seat stuck. Kind of got to maneuver out to give myself more room. But, you know, you can sit a little sideways. 2 people can sit here decently comfortable for about an hour or so. You do have air vents, cup holders, USB ports, and a decent amount of light given all the windows. So not bad. I was in here the other day, we were going on a trip, and 2 hours really wasn't the worst thing. But you can easily do that to climb back out. So I like how, while being this isn't the biggest SUV in the world, you do have a useful third row. Now moving on to the second row in the CX-90, this is a pretty cool place to be. This has the captain's chairs with a center console. You're gonna notice we have air vents, climate controls, heated and ventilated seating, a nice LCD screen, center console, 2 different things to open for your armrest and storage, good sized cup holders, and then there's storage right here. Nice door panel. If I go ahead and recline the seat, this is a nice place to be. You have really good armrests, great legroom with adults sitting in front of you, tons of light with all the glass. Really can't complain at all. And easily hopping over the center console, taking a look with the driver's seat at my height, you know, good amount of legroom. Really can't complain. Also have manual sunshades, and then the door panel finished off very nicely with the two-tone look. You got the micro suede on it, the leather material, and I like the seats with the smooth leather along with all the micro suede. So pretty nice interior, very cool looking, very sporty and luxurious. Moving to the driver's seat, door panels finished off the same. Got this plastic material with a cool stripe pattern, and then all the same seating materials and surfaces. I like the quilted leather, the black stripe. Steering wheel is one of my favorite pieces. It looks super luxurious. As you can see, we have the nice black surrounding it with the tan color on the inside with chrome trim. That really, it kind of looks like a Bentley steering wheel, so I really like that. More chrome trim surrounding everything. Most annoying thing, whenever you start this, the chimes are awful in this car. So you're gonna hear them. Let the car do its thing. So that is the one thing, the chime, especially if you take your seatbelt off at all in your neighborhood, those chimes are so loud. But we have all your gauges with a nice layout. You can easily read everything, vitals on the far right. Drive mode is over here. You can toggle between your 3 different driving modes. Nice touch to see. And then basically cruise control, if you do anything with that, it'll change the display just a little bit. So pretty cool to see. It's a simple gauge cluster, however, it looks nice, fits the interior. We have Bluetooth and audio on the left side, and then your info button over here. We can scroll through a few different things on that right screen. So nice to see just a few more things you're able to configure. We also have cruise control settings on the right. There's paddle shifters, stalk on the right for windshield wipers, and then turn signal and headlights on the left. Down below, we have your memory seating, the intelligent stop, you can turn that on and off, traction control, parking sensors, more of this micro suede and air vents, heads-up display system, and I like how you have a micro suede for the entire dash. Looks pretty neat right here. This is just the molded plastic, and then I like how the tan color makes its way underneath the dash. So it's a cool interior. I mean, it looks luxurious. I think for the price point, this looks very, very nice. For the screen, nothing touchscreen, which is kind of a downfall. You have your rotary dial over here, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but as you can see, we have information you're able to view. You can go back. We also have audio, different entertainment, communications for your phone integration, of course navigation, and then settings within the car. So it's not really all too fancy, but it kind of gets the job done. The user interface, there's a lot of steps to do anything if you want to change the station. We do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and then going into reverse, backup camera, top-down view. You can see a few different views as well. Going into drive now, we get a front view camera, and then we can configure the screen as well. So pretty nice setup overall. I just wouldn't mind touchscreen, maybe just a little bit easier to use a few items. Climate controls are all fixed down below, which does make it super easy. You can see your toggles for dual zone temperature, heated and ventilated seating, heated steering wheel, all your defrost, fan speed, air conditioning icon is over here, and you can sync everything. Wireless phone charging is right here. One drawback I'd say with this center, there's not really a good place to just put stuff, like your key fob or phone, honestly, because it slides out of here very easily. So I wish there was just one extra way to just put stuff in here, like a sunken down storage area. We have cup holders on the far right. They're a little small, so larger water bottles don't quite fit. So again, I wouldn't mind just a little better center storage. Downhill assist, shortcut to cameras, of course all of your shortcuts down here. Nice armrest, you can see the tan stitching. Independently open up this, and you have a decent amount of storage. Glove box, pretty good size as you would expect. And then one last look at the interior. Not a bad place to be. You have garage door buttons on the frameless mirror. There's also a sunglass holder, all your controls for dome lights and sunroof, and then that massive panoramic roof. All right, setting off now. Not too bad, you know, this thing is peppy enough. It's certainly not fast for given it has a really cool engine, honestly, underneath the hood. But, you know, for a family 3-row SUV, it gets up to speed nicely. Really not gonna complain. As far as some normal driving, you know, the seats are pretty comfortable. They could be more padded. They're not insanely soft. However, I mean, they're very supportive. I really wouldn't have an issue for a long drive. Great visibility out the windshield. All the mirrors do a great job. Over your right shoulder, honestly, nothing to complain about for visibility. You have a lot of glass in here. My favorite thing for sure is the color of this interior. I'm not the biggest fan of this micro suede. It doesn't look like real Alcantara. It's just a little bit too fuzzy. I honestly wouldn't mind this just being leather. I think they could have done a better job on the micro suede. Other than that, this is a really cool interior. The steering wheel looks so cool. I love the chrome trim to it. I mean, this feels like a nice car, and at the price point, sub 60 grand for a real 3-row SUV, I honestly think this is really well priced. It's quiet in here, pretty smooth to drive. Slow speeds, the transmission can be a little jerky. I notice if I'm slowing down, like if a car in front of me is gonna be turning, and then I accelerate, it takes a little bit to downshift, you can feel it, and it kind of jerks the car a little bit. So I wouldn't mind maybe a little bit more refinements to the slow speed transmission gear changes. Other than that, I mean, steering's nice. It's got a heavy feel to it. However, it just makes it feel nice and direct. Obviously, it's very lightweight and easy to use, but it's more direct than some other cars in this class. So I like that. It's got some feedback to it. Good armrests, good seating position with all the adjustments. Not really too noisy or anything in here. As far as suspension goes, I can feel the bumps. You know, this doesn't really drive like a ultra luxurious car or anything like that. So it just drives more like a nice normal SUV. So you can feel some bumps. It's got a little bit of that feedback to it. So it's not like the most luxurious driving SUV. While it looks really cool and luxurious, you know, it doesn't really quite drive like a luxury car. But nonetheless, good ride quality, feels nice in here. And yeah, power brakes, they do a good job as well. The interior technology is fine. You know, I think if you're looking for something that isn't the craziest with all the tech, so many screens, too much stuff that you're never going to use, Mazda keeps it simple. You know, you still have a digital gauge cluster, not really all too configurable, but when you're on the cruise control, things like that, you know, it gives you a nice look to it. Hitting the bumps, you know, the car feels pretty solid. Biggest complaint, I wish this was touchscreen. I wish it was a little easier to use. I'm just not the biggest fan of Mazda's infotainment. However, if you have Apple CarPlay running, honestly, that's pretty much all you're ever going to use. So I really don't have any complaints with that from that standpoint. Cameras are good, things like that. So from a driver's perspective, it's kind of what you would expect. You know, we drove this about 2 hours the other day, and I was in the third row. We had 5 of us in here, and we were all pretty comfortable. And the fact that you do have amenities like the heated and ventilated second row, climate vents in the third row, it feels like a very useful family car. And I could see getting one of these, you know, this and maybe a fully loaded Nissan Pathfinder might be kind of the top choices for sub $60,000 3-row SUVs if you don't want some jumbo body-on-frame Suburban that's going to cost more, get worse gas mileage, and just be way bigger. So it's a pretty good layout. I think you really can do a lot in it, and it drives about what you would expect.